Saturday Social, brought to you by EA Sports FC with PlayStation 5.
Right, Joe, the January transfer window is heating up nicely. I said that quite bizarrely, didn't I? The January transfer window. Some deals bubbling along nicely.
Big rumours.
We thought we'd chat about quite a few of them.
Yeah,
with the help
exactly.
Of some props.
Yeah, we've got the true or false paddles out, so pick your paddles up, boys. We're going to read out a number of different statements. You're going to have to tell us whether it's true, whether it's false, and a bit of reasoning behind it. Very, very simple, isn't it? Should we crack on with the first one?
Let's do the first one, mate.
All right, let's do the first one. We're starting with Arsenal. True or false? Arsenal need to sign a striker in January in order to win the league. Both going true. Straight off the back here.
Very true. I think they're missing a killer up front. I think with Jesus, he's someone who I think links up the play very well. Technically is very good, but can you rely on him to kind of give you that 20-plus kind of output that you really need for a title-winning striker? And I think they're crying for that, honestly, because the rest of the team looks like they've got the pieces there, but it's just that final third, they're missing the goals.
I was going to say that. Do you think that's the only piece missing? Because obviously they've got quality throughout the team. But this stat was doing the rounds on Sky Sports News actually this week. Arsenal's last 3 games, 61 shots, 6.47 XG, 1 goal.
I mean, it just shows how unclinical they have been this season. But the thing is, I think they do need a striker to win the league, but I don't think that's all Arsenal need. I think Arsenal do need a little bit more. I personally think they need a better fullbacks. I know they got Timber needs to come as well. And I think they need a centre midfielder. I don't think Havertz is filling in that role brilliantly. You know, I know they got Thomas Partey to come back, but I still think they need another left centre midfielder. And I know that's an important position for Arteta. They do need a striker, but I don't think the striker that they need, who I think they should get, is available yet.
Go on. I think you both might have similar answers.
Yeah, who is who's the striker you think they need to
I've gone Isaac.
I think Isaac because, you know, I look back at Arsenal strikers historically, like you're going from Anelka, Ian Wright, Henry, Van Persie. These type of guys, they're all very technically good. You know, they're very technically good. Jesus is that, but he doesn't put the ball in the back of the net enough. Now look at what Isak's doing at Newcastle. I just look at his profile, and it seems very much like an Arsenal striker. I know there's links to like Ivan Toney's and Osimhen and stuff, but when I think about an Arsenal striker, they're just so cool in front of goal, and they can play in like kind of various roles across the front line. So I think he'll be a perfect one.
Go on. You said Xerxes there. I feel like he's just a more refined version of him. He's got more goals in him, and I just feel like if he comes into this Arsenal team, Henry was his idol growing up as well. He just fits so well.
How much would he cost? I mean, presumably you've bought this up because of the rumours that Newcastle might have to sell players for FFP reasons. But still, you know, given his age profile and his ceiling, how much are you realistically spending on Isaac out of Newcastle?
I think anyone that Arsenal want, they're looking at 100 mil. If they wanted Ivan Toney right now, you're looking at 100 mil. If you want Osimhen, he's got 103.
So you'd rather spend 100 on Isaac than 100 on Osimhen?
I think with Isaac, the only issue. Yeah, I would go with Isaac. I would go with Isaac.
Yeah. And where'd you put Toney in the mix of those 3 as well?
Toney, I think, is good.
But second option for me.
Yeah, I think Toney's around third for me. He's around the third option for me. I think I'll go Isak, then I'll go Osimhen, and then I'll go Toney. I think Isak is a very unique profile. I think Osimhen is a little bit more proven than both. Is more proven than both of them. I think Toney is just underneath that one for me.
9 Premier League goals in 15 appearances this season. Isak. Newcastle fans won't like us talking about.
Sorry, Newcastle fans.
So,
but it's off the back of that room that you might.
Good debate though. Good debate. Next one, true or false? Talking about one of the deals that has been done. Of course, Radu Dragusin made the right decision rejecting Bayern Munich for Tottenham. Fuad's gone true.
Really?
Gone true as well. Go on.
The reason why I'm saying true is not because Spurs are a better club than Bayern Munich, but I just think there's more opportunity for him to play at Spurs because of Romero. You don't know what he's going to do. He's going to get suspended tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got Van der Ven, who's coming back from injury. So I just think that he might have more opportunity to play and just having to play fullbacks at centre back at the moment. So if he's looking at it, I'm guessing that's the only reason, surely, why he would reject Bayern Munich.
Career development-wise?
Yes, for
career development. He also spoke quite well about his conversation he had with Ange and about wanting to play in this system as well. So I think the way that Tottenham play might have been a factor in decision-making. But, of course, competition for places at Bayern is a valid factor as well, from what Cams is saying.
I'd been in talks about 2 months before the deal was actually agreed. So it's, as you said, we've been having these talks and I think at Bayern Munich as well, you look at it, they've got De Ligt, they've got Upamecano, and they've got Kim Min-jae, who they signed in the summer.
And Eric Dyer, we just,
the Eric
Come on to that.
Those three, for me, I just feel like are top tier centre-backs. And I think, as you said, he looked at that and probably thought, I've got more of a chance at Spurs.
I feel like Bayern just saw that he's available and said, you know what, instead of Eric Dyer, let's try and get him. Yeah, I don't think they would really in for him. They came in the last second, so I think it's better for him to go to a team that really wanted him.
It's going to be interesting to see whether he starts on the weekend.
Ben
Davies out injured as well, and other players coming back from fitness. Let's go to the third one then. True or false? Timo Werner will score more Premier League goals for Spurs than he did for Chelsea. Now, he's only here for 6 months, but they have the option to buy, don't they, at 17 million euros. And he only got 10 Premier League goals at Chelsea across 2 seasons.
23 goals in all comps, important, but 10 goals in the Prem.
So why is that? You don't think they're going to make it permanent? You think he's just going to be there 6 months?
Yes, I think he's just going to be a stopgap signing. But I'm actually on the fence where I think he's going to be a good signing for Spurs. I think he could score about 6 goals potentially, which is a good loan. I think he's actually going to contribute. A lot of Spurs fans are fuming about it, especially this guy right here. Yeah, get the camera on him. He was absolutely fuming about it. But I'm telling you, Timo Werner's not as bad as people think.
Why are you fuming
about it?
So this is a win-win.
He's spoiled now. He's spoiled.
No.
It's a loan. There's nothing to lose, is there?
It's for me, I think what we're looking for right now is someone who can guarantee give us goals. We've asked Son to almost paper over the cracks this season. If it's going to be someone for the left wing, I would have preferred someone who's a bit more of a natural winger. I feel like you've got Richarlison, you've got Son there, and now you brought Werner in. It's kind of a bit of an overlap of...
But he can play everywhere across that front line.
But isn't that the issue there, that how much you'd have to bring him in? So I saw the press conference with Ange. He made a great point. Someone said, you know, if he had been scoring more, his price tag would have been so high and he might not have been able to afford him. So obviously, like, the Spurs don't have loads of money to spend. They're having to do it cleverly, I suppose, is the way to say it.
I think in terms of a short-term option, come and give us bodies, and I think he's able to stretch games and use his pace well and be a threat. I think that's one thing at Chelsea I always gave him credit for, is he knows how to get in position. It's just a case of finishing those chances. I think for me, the bit that kind of put me off signing him was the fact that he went back to RB Leipzig and it hasn't really turned out well for him. He's
got 9 goals
further down the pecking order.
Maybe, you know, they say you never go back to your ex.
And that's the thing. You hope that this can kind of be a new lease of life for him, and, you know, Ange can kind of give us a little bit of a spark plug for the second half of the season.
Another big one that happened. Speaking of loan moves, this was a big one in the week, wasn't it? Jadon Sancho, true or false, will rediscover his best form at Dortmund. Dortmund fans very excited about Sancho coming back. True or false? What are you saying, guys? False.
Oh, wait, stop copying.
Yeah, no!
You're Man United fans. What are your thoughts on this? False?
I think he's going to do way better than he did at Manchester United. I think the Bundesliga suits him as well. He's going back to a familiar environment. But I just said never go back to your ex. So, you know, that might be a bit of an issue for him. But I think when you're talking about his best form, he was unbelievable at Dortmund. I mean, I think he put up 50 goals, 50 assists or something in the league while he was there. So rediscovering that level of form, I don't think he will get to that. But actually performing much better than he was at Man United, 100%.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you call rediscovering your form. Is it the form he had at Man United, or is it the form he had at Dortmund before that? That form at Dortmund had him as one of the best youngsters in the world, up there with the Haalands and Mbappe. He was in that conversation. Yeah. Can he get back to that level? I don't think a 6-month loan spell is enough to give you that, to be fair. I think he's almost going to use this to find his feet and find rhythm, and I think he's kind of hoping that maybe Ten Hag is out of the window by the summer. He can kind of come back in with a fresh start.
So do you think this is a good move? As a United fan, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's disappointing. It's disappointing that he's even got to this, and it's an issue that Man United have had for so many years, where a top talent comes to the club and in a way ends up being buried at the club, you know what I mean? And of course he's had his issues. We don't know the ins and outs of Ten Hag. But for a talent like Jadon Sancho to not work out, then end up going midway through his contract back to his old club, it's just disappointing all round. But for him, I mean, he's going to the Champions League. We're not in the Champions League, so he's buzzing at the moment. I see him kissing the badge. He's loving life. So, but on our end, I just think it's a disappointment.
Just lastly, if he does go there and do really well, do you see him back at United hitting the ground running next season?
I think it's like what Fuad said. I think it depends on Ten Hag. I don't think the board want to get rid of a talent like Ten Hag. Like Sancho. And of course, we've got new owners, so it's kind of a clean slate potentially for him. So It's a tough one.
Yeah, very tough. Yeah. Let's go on to the next one. This is about Liverpool. This is true or false. Liverpool need to sign cover for Trent AlexanderArnold. Of course, announced in the week that he had a little bit of an injury. I think
big shame.
Out for a few weeks was kind of the quotes, wasn't it? So in the short term, potentially or not?
Oh,
they disagree.
Well done, boys.
Very amicable so far.
Firstly, I think Trent is just going to play every single game he's available for Liverpool, regardless. But then when he's not there, over the past month or so, I can't lie, I have been very moved by Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez in that left-back role, but he's covered for right-back in that position as well.
Connor Bradley as well. Connor Bradley's been exceptional.
Came in midweek and you just thought, you know what, can he be the next one kind of out of the academy? But I don't think a signing in that position really makes sense. It's similar like when Spurs had Harry Kane. Trying to sign a backup for a player you know is going to play week in, week out, every minute, it's difficult. So for me, I say no. Focus it on other areas.
I think with Trent, he's so important to what Liverpool do going forward that it's hard to say, can you get a cover for him that's just going to do what he does? But when I say they need cover, they need another guy that can play make. They need another guy that can kind of have that X factor in the team, because when I look at Trent, that's what he is. He's Liverpool's X factor, and I think even we saw it against Fulham. I think you could see that there was the absence of Trent. As much as Gomez there, as much as Bradley is there, I can see the absence in Trent. And I would worry for Liverpool if Trent had, let's say, a 3-month injury, 4-month injury. I would worry for them because he is the guy. Trent is the guy.
Yeah. But maybe the best player in the league this season.
Having a great season.
He's so good. He's so good.
OK, next up, Liverpool we're talking about now. True or false, Liverpool will be a better destination than Madrid for Kylian Mbappe. Perez reportedly sent a deadline for him to make a decision. Mbappe agent claims no agreement with any club. Julian Neuron saying he likes Liverpool. So I feel like this story is always bubbling. There's always something new. You're waving your paddles. False. Fuad is desperate to get in.
No mas.
Why are you saying false? Come on, I'll let you speak.
Jude Bellingham all over again. I'm sorry. But players like Mbappe should be at Madrid. That new stadium needs to be unveiled with the Mbappe signing. He is just the epitome of a Madrid signing, let's be honest. Yeah, a Galactico, and I'm sorry, he leaves this summer on a free. I don't want to see him.
You don't want to see him in the Prem.
I want to see
There's part of me, obviously, I don't want to see him go to Liverpool because Liverpool are arch rivals to Man United. But I would love the Premier League to have a Messi versus Ronaldo era, where it's Haaland versus Mbappe in England. We get to watch them week in, week out. Obviously, I understand all the stars end up going to Madrid, don't they, on the continent? You look at the team they're building, that young team with Tchouaméni, Bellingham, Camavinga, and that. But I would love to see Mbappe in England, man.
I feel like Liverpool ever really been that club that try and sign this type of player? Usually Liverpool kind of
He's on a free. It's not like you're going out and paying 200 million off the bat.
Yeah, but when you reach a certain level, I mean, they developed Salah into being this.
I know what you mean. When they bought the likes of Firmino, Mane, Salah, they're all elite players that they coached into. But Salah at the time was an achievable target based on the market value.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas Mbappe, you're going to have to pay.
Straight away, Mbappe is going to come in. I think, especially with the wages that he's going to want as well. Yeah. With a Mo Salah in the team, Mo Salah's aging, but he's still a top player.
But let's say Mo Salah did go to Saudi in the summer, which
then
it's a legitimate rumour, isn't it, that Saudi Arabia are willing to spend big money on him. If they lost his wages, got 100 million through the door, what's stopping them going and competing for Mbappe?
And giving the wages.
That's the only case where it kind of makes sense.
Because you can't be a Liverpool player and sit there and go, I can't believe how much Mbappe's earning. Be the best player in the world.
I just worry that with Klopp and Liverpool, they've always had this kind of family culture over there since he's come in. Does someone like an Mbappe come and completely kind of spike that completely? Because he's a megastar, let's be honest. That team is going to become Mbappe FC after that. Do Liverpool kind of want that? Does Klopp want that? So it's a dynamic change, I think, if you do make the signing of Mbappe.
I just feel like with all the quotes you read between the line, I feel like Real Madrid have that. I just can see that. Can see that happen. I could be wrong, but I can see Real Madrid coming calling. Next up, true or false? Again, another one that is doing the rounds a lot of talk about this player. Chelsea should not sell Conor Gallagher. Intrigued to know what you think about the Conor Gallagher situation. You're a Spurs fan. Chelsea fans loving Conor Gallagher as well, playing regularly. You look at all the metrics as well. He's highest on a lot of statistical metrics for Chelsea this season.
Absolutely makes no no sense for someone who's been wearing the captain's armband this season. For me, I think has been their best performing midfielder.
14 times he's been captain.
Most tackles, most possession won, most interceptions, most pressure. Featured in 25 of 26 games, captain the club. Can you believe that he's been linked?
I understand they're trying to do it for FFP reasons. That's the only reason. You sell a graduate, it's 100% profit. So I get what they're trying to do, but not mid-season especially. That will be crazy because Enzo Fernandez hasn't adapted the way I think he could. Caicedo's still trying to find his feet. It's actually Conor Gallagher that's actually on the pitch delivering. Now, does that mean that he's going to be their long-term future? Maybe not. Maybe in the summer you can reevaluate. But the fact that he's linked to leave in January, for me, just shows what Chelsea are at the moment. And it's just, the business decisions are bizarre to me.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense.
Total agreement. All right. Okay, we'll do one more
Last
then.
one.
Quickly do the last one, which is true or false. Eric Dier's move to Bayern will get him back in the England squads. What are you saying?
Big false.
Come to you, Spurs fan.
I think, as I said earlier, you're looking at De Ligt, Upamecano, Kim Min-jae. He's fourth choice behind that. And in my opinion, it's a move there simply to just get out of Tottenham. It's not one to really get
It's a great move, though.
Harry Kane
won't get some Bundesliga titles.
You know how it goes.
Hey,
Harry Kane made the call. We know what he's doing now. Dier can't get. I mean, that would be disrespectful to Dunk, Tomori, all them guys that are on the Mark Gay, the guys that are on the periphery. If Eric Dier went to Bayern Munich and just got back into the team, then you'll just know that's pure favouritism out there. Do you know what I mean? So I don't see a chance for him.
Wow, OK. Interesting in Thomas Tuchel's thoughts, saying he wanted a centre-back that can also play in a DM role, that multiple players. So it'll be interesting to see how much he does play. But that is
replacement.
That is quite an amicable true or false, I thought.
Yeah, very amicable.
A lot of agreement, we thought, from you two of you that we often see disagreeing a lot. Enjoyed that very much.